You know how some images in literature just stick with you? They kind of flicker in the back of your mind long after you've closed the book. And maybe none are as iconic, as debated, or as downright haunting as a single distant green light blinking at the end of a dock. It's so much more than just a plot device. It's the very heartbeat of the novel. Today, we're going to dive deep into that light, from F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, to figure out what it truly means. Our very first glimpse of this light is, well, it's strange. Before we even really meet Jay Gatsby, our narrator, Nick Carraway, sees him as this lonely figure on a lawn, reaching for something he can't see across the water. Just picture that for a second. A guy in a mansion, surrounded by every luxury you can imagine, and yet he's totally alone, stretching his arms out into the pitch-black darkness, almost like he's praying. The whole scene is just soaked in mystery and this deep, deep sense of longing. It sets the stage perfectly for everything to come. So what is he reaching for? And why is he trembling? So to really get to the bottom of this, we're going to unpack the symbol in layers. Think of it like concentric circles moving from the inside out. We'll start with Gatsby's personal dream, which is all about Daisy. Then we'll zoom out to see how that dream is a mirror for the bigger American dream. And finally, we'll talk about what this little shimmering green light says about all of us and our own deepest hopes and dreams. All right, first things first, what exactly is this mysterious light? Before we can get into all the juicy symbolism, we have to understand what it is in the real world, and more importantly, how the novel immediately tells us to see it as something more. Okay, so check out this contrast Fitzgerald sets up right away. On the one hand, the green light is just a piece of hardware, a totally practical lamp on the Buchanan's dock to keep boats from crashing in the dark. Simple, right? Kind of boring, even. But that's not how he presents it to us. Nick calls it minute and far away, and he can only really see it when Gatsby is standing there, reaching for it. The second Gatsby vanishes, Nick says he's left in unquiet darkness. So from page 1, we're being told this is not just a light. It's Gatsby's intense focus, his powerful yearning, that gives it its magic. It's an enchanted object. And that right there is the magic of a literary symbol. It's when a writer takes a totally normal, everyday object, a whale, a letter A, a green light, and just pumps it full of meaning that goes way beyond its physical form. It comes to represent huge, abstract ideas about life, love, and society. And in The Great Gatsby, you could argue the green light is the most important symbol of all. It's like the magnetic north of the entire story. So what's the first and most powerful idea loaded into this thing? Well, for Gatsby, it all comes down to one person, Daisy. This is the light's most direct, most personal meaning. It's his all-consuming, life-defining obsession with one woman, just across the bay. For Gatsby, the light and Daisy are basically the same thing. I mean, it's on her dock. For 5 long years, after coming back from the war, that little flickering green dot is his only tangible proof that she's real, that she's right there across the water. It stands for everything he's fighting for, to win her back, to literally erase the past 5 years and start all over again. Even the color, green, backs this up. Green means go, it's the color of spring, of new life, of rebirth. In a very real way, Daisy, through this light, becomes the beacon that guides his entire life. It's the whole reason he built this shadowy, immense fortune. And this sets up a fascinating question. The light is incredibly powerful when it represents an idea, a dream that's just out of reach. But what happens when Gatsby finally closes that distance? What happens when the symbol is replaced by the actual person? And wow, does the book give us the answer in this absolutely devastating moment? This quote comes right after Gatsby and Daisy finally reunite at Nick's house. He's showing her his mansion, pointing out the view, and he mentions the light. But as Nick watches, he realizes something huge has changed. That colossal significance is just gone. The dream has been touched by reality and the magic has vanished. It's not an enchanted object anymore. It's just a green light on a dock again. There's such a profound sadness in this line. Gatsby got the thing he wanted most in the world, but in doing so, the powerful symbol that fueled him for 5 years was destroyed, reduced back to just an ordinary object. It makes you ask a heartbreaking question. Was the idea of Daisy, the dream he chased across the water, actually more powerful and more perfect to him than the real woman standing in his house? This moment, right here, is really the beginning of his downfall. It's the first major crack in the perfect illusion he built around himself. You know, this disillusionment with his personal dream, it hints at something much, much bigger. The green light isn't just about Daisy the person. It also represents a corrupted, twisted version of the American dream. A dream all tangled up in the harsh realities of class, money, and envy in the Warring 20s. To get this, you have to understand the geography of the book. It's key. Daisy and her husband Tom live in the fashionable East Egg. This is the home of the established, inherited old money. They were born into it. It's effortless for them. Gatsby, on the other hand, is across the bay in the flashy, gaudy West Egg, the land of new money, people who made their fortunes themselves, often in, let's just say, shady ways. This isn't just about two different zip codes. It's a deep, uncrossable social barrier, a canyon of unspoken rules and inherited privilege. And so that green light on that East Egg dock becomes a symbol of that impassable barrier. It represents the old money status and social acceptance that Gatsby craves, maybe even more than he craves Daisy herself. He can build a bigger mansion, throw crazier parties, and make a mountain of money, but he can never, ever truly break into that inner circle. To Tom Buchanan, he'll always be a bootlegger, an outsider. That light is a constant, taunting reminder of a world he can see but can never fully join. It's the invisible wall of class, made visible. And the color green itself gets really complicated here. I mean, yes, it's the color of hope, of a fresh start, but it's also, of course, the color of money, the very foundation of Gatsby's entire plan, the tool he thinks can buy him happiness and literally repeat the past. And then you've got the ugly side of green, the green-eyed monster of jealousy he feels for Tom, and the literal, sick, green face of George Wilson, the poor mechanic living in the hellscape of the Valley of Ashes. The color itself holds both the beauty of the dream and the poison of its corruption. So from this corrupted American dream, Fitzgerald takes one final, absolutely breathtaking leap. In the book's final pages, Nick takes the green light and transforms it from something that belonged only to Gatsby into a symbol for, well, for all of us. It becomes about a universal human longing that we all feel. The language here is so important. Nick starts with Gatsby. Gatsby believed in the green light. Simple enough. But then he immediately pivots. He calls it the orgastic future, and listen to the word he uses, that year by year recedes before us. Whoa. Suddenly, Gatsby's very specific story has become our story. His doomed quest is now a metaphor for something we all experience. And he just keeps going with this collective us. The dream of the future eludes us, but that doesn't stop us. What do? We just try harder. We believe that with a little more effort, we'll finally grab it. It's a perfect description of human hope and pure persistence, even when the odds are impossible. We are all reaching for our own green light. So let's talk about that weird phrase, the orgastic future. It's so specific. This isn't just about a happy future. It's a future of ultimate, ecstatic fulfillment. It's the perfect life, the perfect love, the moment when all the struggle is finally over and you've arrived. But the beautiful tragedy in Fitzgerald's vision is that this future is, by its very nature, unreachable. The closer we get, the farther it moves away. It's the chase, not the capture, that defines us. And then Nick connects this universal chase all the way back to the founding of America itself. He imagines the first Dutch sailors arriving and seeing a fresh, green breast of the New World. For them, this entire continent was the ultimate green light, a symbol of infinite possibility, a place to start over and completely reinvent yourself. Gatsby's personal, corrupted dream is just a modern, tragic echo of that original and maybe equally impossible national dream. So after peeling back all these layers, from a dock light to a woman to a nation's soul, we have to ask the big question, why does this symbol endure? Why, a century later, are we still talking about a green light in a book from the 1920s? I think this quote from the scholar Sarah Churchwell just hits the nail on the head. The green light perfectly captures the central paradox, not just of the American dream, but of human ambition itself. The very same dream that inspires us to do incredible things is often the one that destroys us when we let it take over. It's beautiful in its promise, and it's cruel in how it's always just out of reach. Ultimately, the symbol endures because it's not really about America or the 1920s or a millionaire's obsession. It's about something fundamental to being a person. We are creatures who dream, who imagine a better future, who set goals that seem just beyond our grasp. It's like the donkey chasing the carrot. We convince ourselves that if we just run a little faster, stretch our arms a little farther, we'll finally get there. And this leaves us with this profound, really tough question. Is this endless chase a noble thing, a testament to the power of human hope? Or is it just an ultimate tragedy, a cycle of striving and disappointment that we're all doomed to repeat? The novel doesn't give us an easy answer, and that's part of its genius. It forces us to ask that question of Gatsby and, of course, of ourselves. In the end, we're left with this final, iconic line. It's such a powerful and kind of sad image. We fight so hard to row forward toward that green future, but the currents of our own pasts, our own limitations, our own histories are constantly pulling us back. We strive forward, yet we are carried backward. And in that beautiful, tragic struggle, Fitzgerald captures the essence of Gatsby's dream, and maybe, just maybe, a little piece of our own.